You're listening to Uncoupled and Unfiltered, the show for people smart enough to get out of the wrong relationship and bold enough to do it without losing their damn minds. Hosted by Ksenia Mensch, a divorce strategist and straight-talking badass, this podcast is your no-fluff, no-shame, take-control guide to surviving litigated divorce with clarity, guts, and zero regrets. Let's get into it. Here's Ksenia.
You're listening to Uncoupled and Unfiltered. Today, we're diving into a powerful and inspiring conversation about dating after divorce, but with a little twist. Joining me is Christina Gonzalez Hicks, who is here to share her unique dating journey and how she found her happily ever after. If you've ever asked yourself, will it ever be me? The answer is resolute yes. Christina's story and the insight she shares today may just be the spark you need to rediscover yourself, tune into your highest good, and align with the love you truly deserve. So let's get into it. Christina, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. So we're not going to talk about work today at all. We're just going to talk about the dating and personal life. And I'm so grateful that you are willing to share your experience because it is a very unique one. So to start off, let's, if you don't mind, sharing a little bit about your divorce because it is relevant to your dating journey.
Absolutely. So I've been married since I'm 39 now. I've been married since I was 25. So we were married about 13 years before we split. And I've been married to, although I was married to a woman for that 13 years. It was amazing. We met when I was 18, we're friends first. We started dating when I was around 21, 22, and ended up getting engaged, getting married when I was 25. And then we've been together 13 years, had a kiddo halfway through the marriage. I have an 8-year-old son who's amazing. And, we had a great marriage. It was, ups and downs, of course, as they all are, but overall it was great. We split at the beginning of last year, 2024. So around January, February 2024. We had been having some problems on and off for about a year, and we finally got to a point where it just wasn't working, and we knew it wasn't working. And so we ended up having a conversation and deciding to kind of split and separate ways. And honestly, we still lived together for a little over a year after that. Like we had roommates and our son and everything, and friends that were living with us, but we stayed in the same house just to make the transition as easy as we could for our son, for our 8-year-old. And it was probably about after we kind of finalized everything where we said we're definitely not getting back together, was about October, November of last year. I already kind of knew a little earlier in the year that it wasn't going to work. I just knew, I had a therapist that asked me if she was my end game, which was the way he proposed it to me. He said, is she your end game? Because I kept saying, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for her to tell me. I'm waiting for her to say that she doesn't want to be with me anymore. And I finally got to a point where my therapist said, like, what do you want? Do you want to still be together? Like, what's inside of you? Not just like you waiting for someone else to tell you, like, what do you want? The question is she your end game? And I really considered that. And I realized pretty quickly, like, no, she wasn't my end game for a lot of reasons. As much as I loved her and loved our family, she just wasn't my end game. And it was the same on her end for me. And so I had a conversation with her, probably around October. And we said, yeah, like we're not each other's end game. We're going to move on. And so I kind of started looking into dating again. I was on the apps and everything in November, but it was all set to women. And what surprised me the most when I was dating was that I decided to start dating men, and I had never dated men. I know.
Here's the twist. Who knows, right? Life is so unpredictable.
I never dated men before. I'd only dated women. Really since, I never had a boyfriend. Like I never had any of that. And So it was very interesting when I thought, hey, actually, that person's pretty attractive. Well, that's weird. Why am I having those thoughts? So well, maybe I should
Yeah.
explore. And I decided to open the app to men. And so I was on the dating app. I opened it to men. I lasted 1 hour. Like I had like so many hits, right, from men. Because you know how dating apps are with men, right? They just like swipe on
They just
everyone and
swipe.
they just
They
swipe.
don't even
They're
look.
just swiping. They're not looking, they're swiping until they get a match and then they look. And so I had
Yes.
so many likes on it that I just panicked. I was like, shut it down. I just just like shut it down, deleted it. I just like I couldn't, I didn't want it.
Hmm.
And then I the next day I said, let me try this again. Let me open it again and open it to men. And I was like, I'm just gonna go to sleep and then I'll look at it tomorrow, right? Like I just don't want to get overwhelmed. So I open it to men, I go to sleep the next morning. Again, I have like 100 likes on my profile.
Of course. I mean, come on.
And
You're an
I
amazing
know.
woman.
I'm pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie, but
You
I
are.
do my
I know
mindset. But
that.
no, but Ksenia, like I've always been the girl that has said like the only thing that I can pull is a door that says push. Okay, like that's always been like my my little cutesy thing of like I'm not out there getting like hit on repeatedly by men when I go to
Hmm.
a bar or something. That's not like my thing. And I honestly,
Hmm.
like when I was married, I didn't even look at anyone else. Like
Yes.
I'm very monogamous. I'm very like, I just didn't
Hmm.
even like men, women, didn't matter. I didn't look at anyone.
Yes.
And so
Hmm.
for me to then go from that to like 100 people clicking on my profile was a huge shift. And so
Hmm.
I started talking to people, started going on dates and realized very quickly like oh my gosh, the world of online dating is just so insane. Like it's just wild, online dating, because you can try to like, and my career, like I'm in human resources, so I interview
Yes.
people all day long, but it's so different when it's
Yes.
dating because you
Hmm.
try to like weed out people that are not there for the reasons that you're there for. You're trying to
Hmm.
figure out what you're there for, what they're there for, because ideally I'd love to be looking for a relationship. But a lot of guys, unfortunately, a lot of guys on the app, that's not what they're looking for, right? They're
Yes.
just looking to like
Yes.
hook up, or,
Yes.
that's all that they're in there for. And so you're talking to someone and you're trying to align these values, but you have some men lie, some men maybe don't know what they want, or they say they want something that they don't end up wanting. And
Or
it's
they
just a
tell you
lot of
what they want to
trial and
hear
error. Oh, yes. Telling you what you want to hear
to
is
get them what they
absolutely
want because they know exactly
exactly.
what they want, but they know what you want to hear. So it's a really funny culture. So another thing I want to ask. So yes, you're in the human resources, so you know how to interview
Hmm.
people very well. Dating, it's a little different. But
Hmm.
you probably would agree, modern dating culture is really crappy right now. Women, not women,
Terrible.
sorry, people are afraid of commitment. They're either not over their ex or they're not interested. So they're kind of looking for situationship and very transactional type of relationship without being vulnerable and deep connection.
Hmm.
What would you recommend to people like that? Like, how do you first, do you have some advice? I mean, you were able to find somebody who was interested in a relationship versus just
Yeah.
hooking up. Do you have any advice in terms of how do you weed out those schmucks?
I think you need to communicate what you want and not be afraid of someone saying that they don't want to be with you. And that's something that I've been trying to work on myself,
Mm-hmm.
right? I like being liked. I feel like for me, you just as a person in general, not even in relationships, like I want to be liked. I don't want people to be upset at me or mad at me or not
Mm-hmm.
like me for whatever reason. So when I had someone telling me like, hey, I only want this, it was hard for me to like tell them, oh, well, like I want this. So maybe this isn't a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me a while because keep in mind, I mean, it's been about a little less than a year now that I've been like kind of in
Mm-hmm.
these apps and like dealing with it. And I got to a point where I was like, you know what? Like I just have to tell someone and I have to tell them sooner than later because I can't keep giving people chances. Like I'd go on dates with someone that I kind of didn't have like maybe the biggest feelings for, but then I was like,
Mm-hmm.
but they're so nice. But he's so nice, but he actually wants what I want. But then you don't have that spark or that feeling. So I just feel
You
like
can
just be
fake
true to
that one.
yourself. You can't fake it. I'd say like be true to yourself. Figure out like what spark. Do you have that spark? Do you feel anything for that person? Because if you don't, you're just saying, but he's such a nice guy, then you're the one that's being trashed, right? Like, because I always
Yes.
say like men are trash, but women, we can be trash too. Like
Oh,
there are
absolutely.
so many situations where women would, or they'll tell men like they just want men to pay for things. That's all they care
Oh,
about. They want
I
the
hate that.
gifts and the free dinners and you'll have guys that are like, "Oh, I went out with a girl for, 6 months and I paid for everything and I bought her things and then she just never wanted to be with me or do it." So
Yeah.
like it happens on the men's side too because like Ksenia, like you said, we're all a little broken right now. I feel like especially dating in our like late 30s, early 40s, we're all broken.
Yes.
We've all been in relationships that didn't work out, whether they were marriages or long-term things. And so we're all trying to figure it out. We're all trying to figure out what we want right now.
It's like
And we're
a
kind of doing it
thrift
together.
shop. It's like a thrift shop shopping,
Yes.
right? All the items, you know there's a
Yes.
better quality. You just need to really go through the rack to find it.
Especially on online dating, right? Like I just feel like especially when you're on apps like Bumble and Tinder and I don't know, Coffee Meets Bagel or whatever all the apps are that like are out there, I feel like mm, there are so many there are so many broken people in our world right now, especially in the
Yes.
dating scene. And so we just have to be communicative of what we want and be true to ourselves. Like, because I feel that a lot of, especially women, like we're trying to be so nice and just be like, but the person's nice. We want to give them a chance. It's like,
Yeah.
but at some point, you're stringing someone along unnecessarily and you're getting something out of it, whether it's like company or them taking you to dinner. Because I can't say that I'm not guilty of, oh, like I'll just ask so and so out because I know that they'll say yes. And I
Mm,
just want company right now. Like I know that they'll go
yes.
out with me and I want someone to go to dinner with because I'm alone and lonely right now.
Yeah.
So like I can't say that I haven't been there where or I text three different people because I know one of them will probably say yes to have dinner. Like I can't say that I haven't been there either. Like I've had those days and honestly, I
Mm-hmm.
think I got to a point in dating I didn't really recognize myself. I got kind of so
Yes.
far away from my center, my value prop of myself,
Mm-hmm.
that I had to really evaluate where I wanted to be and how I wanted to go forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of started making changes and then I met the person that I'm currently dating and I'm only dating one person right now and he's great
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just at the point where I knew I was far away from where I wanted to be as a person and then
Mm-hmm.
I met someone that I was like okay he's awesome I want to focus on him
Yes.
and things just kind of worked out in that term.
Yes. For me with dating, I realize I do not know if I'm truly made for dating because I feel like if I date with with intention. I date to be in a
Hmm.
relationship. So I am such a protective person of my time and my energy at this point that I wouldn't even go for dinner. I'd rather be home by myself. And
Hmm.
it's also kind of I am true to myself, but it does get sometimes lonely because you're like, well, I do want the not even company, I
Yeah.
want partnership, but I'm also very discerning and being like you said, once you kind of figure out and reground yourself, you know that you'd rather be by yourself, and that's when you truly align with your purpose in love
Hmm.
life, and you can find the partnership that you're seeking versus again just settling and again picking up like thrift shopping. You just get a piece and it's crap, but you're like, well, it's
Hmm.
$5. I can wear it
Yeah,
once.
I can wear it. I can wear it. I'll be
But
fine.
then you throw
And I
it,
did
you want
have
to throw
that.
it away. It's
And
such
then
a
they
like,
leave, and you're like, why did I do that? Why did I go out with that person? Like, I didn't even
yes,
want to invite them over. I didn't want to go out with them. And you get so, I feel like you get really down on yourself a little bit in it,
yes,
like where you start to like kind of judge yourself. You're like, but I went against, and that's where I was at. I like was going out against my core values. I'd go on like multiple dates in a day. Like I'd go on like a date with
mm,
someone for
that's
lunch, then go on a dinner
exhausting.
date. It was, and I'm so extroverted, and it was exhausting. It really was. I definitely am like, if I'm ever in the dating pool again, which I'm sure I will be, but if I'm in the dating pool again, I'm gonna
But
do it
maybe not.
differently.
Maybe that's your
Hopefully
end game.
not.
You never know.
You never know. And like I said, I'm dating someone who's amazing, very, very sweet guy. So I'm happy to be where I'm at. But if I'm ever in the dating pool again, I know I'll do it differently in terms of like how I want to, where I want my alignment to be,
Yes.
right? Like, so what I'm offering and all of that.
So, have you noticed, because you were married to a woman, now you're dating a man,
Hmm.
the shift, internal shift within you, and I am talking more like, we encompass masculine and feminine, right?
Hmm.
Inside. Have you noticed any shift in that? Did dating a man make you feel more feminine on the inside? Because I'm sure when we're with females, whether it's a romantic or platonic relationship,
Hmm.
we frequently take sometimes more masculine roles because it's like we're
Hmm.
just two equals at this point. We're technically two feminines, but one is always more masculine, right?
Yeah, so I was my ex was a little more masculine than I was presenting, right?
Okay.
But I think in terms of like my business and things like that, I was a little bit more on the masculine side, right? I was
Mm-hmm.
more of like the person out there working, providing, and she was more with our kiddo and things like that, and making sure that things were good at home. So it got to a point where I felt like, no, me being out and providing, like that's where I'm meant to be, and more taking that masculine role. I think honestly, like one of the reasons I love dating men is I like that feeling of being protected, like that feminine feeling of having
Yes.
someone be like your protector. And you never really, like, I never really had that dating women
Mm-hmm.
as much, right? Where I felt like that protection, it's a little bit, but not to the extreme as when you're with men.
Yes.
And so that's one thing that kind of changed for me is like realizing how much I wanted that, like, feeling
Mm-hmm.
of protection
Being safe,
from a
right?
man, being safe, feeling very safe, feeling taken care of, feeling any of those things, right? And I definitely have that with the person that I'm currently dating. He's definitely giving me that feel. So that kind
Mm-hmm.
of changed for me is that. But one thing I will say is in dating men, they laugh at me a little bit because like all the men that I've dated know that I was married to a woman, and so I'll get some men view me almost like a bro. Like they almost like they do.
Do
Like
that.
it's funny. Yeah, they do. They'll joke around, we'll joke around and stuff and talk about things and they almost they're like, man, like I love that when I'm with you, it's like I'm with a friend, but also like someone that I'm like romantically interested or want to date.
Yeah.
But it's almost like this like bro vibe that I get with some guys. And so I don't think those like clearly I'm not dating those men that we had that vibe
Mm-hmm.
because it wouldn't have worked, right? Because they saw me
Yes.
more of like a friend or a bro than they did see me as like a
Mm-hmm.
romantic interest. But it was very interesting when I dated men because I'm acting the same. I'm not changing myself for
Mm-hmm.
these men. I'm not trying to be more feminine. I'm not out there putting on a ton of makeup or, dressing really feminine in skirts and stuff. I'm doing my normal thing, which is
Yeah.
jeans and Vans or jeans and Converse and usually natural. I wear makeup sometimes, but not like a lot,
Mm-hmm.
So I have had men that are amazing and they'll tell me like, you're beautiful, you don't need makeup, you look gorgeous, like no
Mm-hmm.
matter what, which is great. It's true. Like I do think that I'm pretty without the makeup and everything.
Of
I think we're all
course.
pretty without the makeup and everything.
Absolutely.
But I've never had a
Beautiful.
feel that I've had to like, oh, well, I need to be more feminine. It's like, no, if I date the right
Mm-hmm.
person, they're going to be okay with the fact that
Yes.
I'm not that girly girl. I'm not the
Yes.
one like in heels every day. Like that's not my style.
You know what I discovered? I always tell my kids, so I have two sons that are teenagers right now, and I always tell them, like, in order for a woman or a girl to fall in love, she has to feel safe. Feeling safe is number one. If she doesn't feel safe, there is
Hmm.
no love. There can be codependency, but there is no love.
Hmm.
And I think us becoming feminine, it's also when we feel safe. And it's not, we don't feel safe with every man, regardless of how big he is, how strong he is. I think it's almost like on a level of chemical compatibility. If we
Hmm.
feel safe with a guy, our feminine side wakes up, like naturally. We don't need to do
Yeah.
anything. We just almost get subdued, but it's only with the right male, only with the
And
right
it's
man.
vulnerability, right? Like
Yes.
that's like the femininity that we're talking about here.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
like you get that vulnerable feeling with that person and you can be vulnerable and be more like, no, take care of me. And it's not even about being like babied or any of that, right?
Oh,
It's
no,
just
no,
about
no. Yeah.
having like this just feel of this protection, this feel of safe,
Yes.
which is such a
Yes.
nice feeling to have where you're completely comfortable with your partner and you feel very calm and safe. And like even it sounds weird, but like you can even like it's like the pheromones and the smell of like someone that can like calm you down and release these hormones in
Yes.
your body. And it's just the neuroscience behind it is so
Yes.
fascinating. But it really is. So we always joke around because, my boyfriend will like smell my neck and be like, I don't know what it is about like your smell.
It's
Like I won't be
intoxicating.
wearing any perfume or anything. And like, it's just like this almost like
Yeah.
feels like an obsession kind of joking, that we have.
And the same goes the opposite way. When we're done with a partner, the smell becomes repelling. You're like, oh,
Mhm.
I cannot. Like you become nauseated from the smell that because pheromones, like the chemical reaction
Mhm.
is no longer there.
I've had that. I've had that happen
Yeah.
where I've gone on dates with someone and I give them a hug and immediately like I'm a hugger anyway. So I
Hmm.
always like hug someone when I first meet them. But it's because I went out with someone and I gave him a hug and I could just not. It wasn't like he did not smell bad, but like I just could not.
It's
Like
it's
his
not
smell was
supposed to
just so
happen. Yeah.
off-putting. Yeah, it was just very much like I need to not be with this person.
So I want to do something different today for our episode,
Mhm.
and I want to play a game. I know I didn't tell you what questions. I just want to fire up questions, and whatever comes into your mind first, answer, and we just talk about it
This could be
because I think it's
dangerous.
going to be fun.
Sounds great.
Yes. So the first one: what's the most unexpected place you have met someone?
Ooh, most unexpected place I've met someone. Ooh, this is a tricky one. Okay, parking lot of a bar. I mean, like you could meet someone in a bar, but like I
Yes.
was waiting in my car, like waiting on the outside of my car, in the trunk of my car for a date to arrive at a bar. And someone walked up and he was carrying a tent. His friends like gave him a tent. So of course I'm like looking because I'm like, why does he have a tent? So he tells me he's going to Coachella and that's his tent, like that he's
Hmm.
taking. And so he makes a joke about hooking up with someone, like trying to hook up with someone at Coachella. And I'm like, yeah. So I'm literally like, man, it's like a one person tent. It's one of those like 4 feet by 4 feet
Oh my
tents.
gosh, this is a
And I
tight,
was
tight.
like, it's a tight squeeze. I was like, just so you know, you're not gonna pull any girl at Coachella with a 4 by 4 tent. Like no one is gonna be interested in that. So we got to talking and he's like, well, like, can you come into the bar and like I'll buy you a drink? And I was like, honestly, I'm waiting for a date. He's like, I don't care. Like, come into the bar. He's not here yet. Like, I'll buy you a drink. So he goes and buys me a drink and ends up like trying to get my phone number. Like, but yeah, I literally met him in a parking lot and he's holding a 4 by 4 tent trying to basically get laid at Coachella. It was
Uh,
hilarious. But
oh, that's
clearly it
awesome.
did not work out or anything, but it was just a very interesting place to meet someone.
Oh, that's awesome. For me, it was I met somebody at the spiritual retreat. Out of all places,
Oh,
I was going just focusing on
I love that.
myself,
Yeah.
and I just ran into a person and he made such a huge he actually revealed what the true relationship is supposed to look like for me. So he left a deep impact on me, and maybe it was like that's what spiritual retreat is all about, but the same. I was going there and I'm like focusing on myself, and boom, out of
Hmm.
the blue it was something that not probably I will never forget. So forever grateful to that guy. Still think of him. He is phenomenal. All
Well,
right.
I will say, they say that people are in your life. They say they're in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like
Yep.
everyone that you meet, like for that, that was your reason. Like he needed to
Yeah.
kind of share that with you.
It was amazing. All right. The next one. What gives you eek in a guy?
Oh, the ick. Oh, okay, I have one. So I dated this boy, and to be honest with you, I called him like the nerdy boy. Like I had nicknames for all the boys that I like went out with.
Of course,
And so I
will
called
do.
him nerdy boy because like one of our first dates was like us building Legos together. So like clearly like we were like very nerdy in that moment. We were just building a Lego set. And he we he made a joke with me about like Um, you know that like being a what is it called? Like the mommy, like sugar mama.
Oh,
He
okay.
made a joke about being me being his sugar mama. And I'm like, I don't need to be a sugar mama. Like I'm solid. Like I can, someone else can buy me things. I'm not going to buy someone things.
I don't need
And
another child.
I don't need a child. I'm solid. And so he would joke and call me mommy, like mommy, right? And for
Oh,
whatever
ew.
reason, I can do like an occasional puppy with someone. It has to be puppy. I can't do daddy. Daddy's gross. I can't do it. But like he got to a point where like we're hanging out for the evening and it was like yes mommy, no mommy, like it was a lot. And I was like, okay, yeah, no, this is gross. I can't do it. It was clear that he was like super into it and I was not.
It's like role playing.
And it was like it got to that feel that I was like, okay, I think he's role playing right now and I am not role playing right now. And so I was like, okay, yeah, no, I just didn't talk to him again. I couldn't do it. It gave me like the ick so bad.
That's awesome. My eek is them talking about their exes.
Oh, yeah, that's not good either.
Absolutely not. As soon as you start, either go back. I don't want to be the third wheel. Like I just have zero desire to
To hear
be,
about it.
yeah, to hear. Like it's all about
Mhm.
once I think you're in a solid relationship, I think it's important to understand, like, okay, where you're coming from, where I'm coming from, if they're still present
Mhm.
in your life because of the kids, whatever the case is. But absolutely not. I am not interested discussing your ex, you talking about your ex, me talking about my ex during dates. No. So for me,
I
I
need to be
immediately
better
like,
about that too. I was, I do. And I mean, I was married a long time and I have a kiddo with her, so like
yeah.
that puts into it, but I'm like even now I'm like I sometimes overshare. Sometimes I need to reel myself in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we all do. We all do. Sometimes we feel very
Hmm.
comfortable that it's appropriate, but a lot of times it's like, no, just focus
Yeah.
on you and me learning about that. Okay, who should be on the first date?
Oh, I am definitely okay, so I own a business. I know I can pay on the date. I can. But I am one of those like I want the man to reach, I like offer, and then he's like, no, I got it. Like I really
Yes,
enjoy a man that pays on a date. And honestly, like again, for me, I'm like, I'm fine paying for things, but I do like a man that'll pay on a date.
agreed.
It's just that I want to feel that safe. Like if
It's
I want to pay
safety,
for a
it's
date, I would do it alone.
provider. Yeah,
I know.
exactly. The next one. What's worse, ghosting or breadcrumbing?
Uh, Honestly, ghosting. Because at least with breadcrumbing, like you acknowledge it and you can choose to walk away from it. And if you're, sticking with it, that's on you. And I've been on both sides. The ghosting, it's just so disrespectful. Like I have very, very rarely, I mean, maybe once or twice total, have I straight up ghosted someone without giving some sort of text of like why I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to talk to them again. Block people all day long, but I will send them a text message on why I'm blocking someone before I'm blocking them. Like I
Mm-hmm.
can't do the ghosting thing. I just think it's very disrespectful, like especially if you've gone out, especially if you've like been intimate with someone,
Yes,
just disappearing or doing any of that is the worst. I'm not gonna lie. I think the worst thing that I've had happen in my dating experience is I did have one guy sneak out of the house in the morning
ew.
after spending the night with
Oh,
someone. That was a rough pill to swallow for me. That
yes.
was a tough one. And honestly, I was very much like, I don't know whether to laugh or cry after it happened. It was like, part of it's kind of funny because I'm like, I have two sets of stairs. I have a dog. So I'm like, this boy must have had shoes in hand, sneaking down, tiptoeing like a cartoon character down my
Window.
stairs, out the window with sheets or something. Like, I don't know how he got outside without like getting the dog to bark or do any of those things. But yeah, that was probably the worst. And that's like the ultimate ghosting,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
That was the worst because I'm like, you could have woken up in the morning and said you had to go somewhere and just left. Like, I can take it, but just like leaving in the middle of the night, that's just so wrong on
Yes.
so many levels. But
I'm with
I think
you.
it needs to happen to someone once in their
Yeah.
life. And I feel like I was making up for lost time.
I'm with you. I think it's ghosting because I think it messes up with your self-esteem because you immediately start asking questions. What did I do? You start replaying conversations and you start
Hmm.
questioning your self-worth, which is actually nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with the person who
100%
stopped
to them.
talking. And
100%.
it speaks for emotional immaturity, not being able to have serious conversations. And I agree with you. If after a date, it's one thing, it kind of like 1 or 2 dates. But if especially you've been intimate, that's
Hmm.
just really painful. I think I
Yeah.
ghosted, I don't even know if it's necessarily called ghosting, but I'll call it ghosting one person, but I
Hmm.
have answered multiple times. So he knew it was coming. I just stopped responding. When he multiple times failed to follow up on his actions, on his words, I'm
Hmm.
like, I'm done. Like, I do not know why do I keep
But it's
engaging
not
with you
even
if,
ghosting because you said it. Because you said, like, I'm done. And then you
yes,
stopped. But
yes.
that's the thing.
So,
It's not even ghosting at that point. At that point, you're just telling someone you don't want to talk to them, and then you're setting boundaries for yourself. And that's the difference.
yes.
Because these guys aren't setting boundaries when they're ghosting
No,
you. They're
no, they
just
just disappear.
scared
It's
and
like
they
Houdini
disappear because
act.
they don't
Poof.
want to have it. They don't
Yeah.
want a difficult conversation. They want what they wanted, whether you were intimate with them or not. And they decided to move on. And again, all of that's fine. No one owes, like, I'm very much like, no one owes me anything in dating. We're not even in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship. However, the nice thing to do would be to let someone know, hey, I'm just not into it. And how hard is it to send a text that says that? Send that
Mm-hmm.
text and then block the person. You don't have to even see a response, but at
Yes.
least send the message to at least let them know why it's happening.
Yes. Agreed. What's your go-to way to end a bad date?
Ah, ending a bad date. Honestly, okay, I've done it a couple different ways. But generally, I'll just say like, "Hey, I really appreciate, your time today. I got to get home. I have an early morning meeting." I'll like blame it on work for the next day. I have very occasionally, I did have someone in my house and I was like, I need them not to be in my house anymore. And so I had my sister like call me and say like, "Hey, I'm coming over, like stuff, fake a fight with
Yes.
her boyfriend and she's coming over." And I was like, hey, so my sister's on her way over. So I gotta like have you leave. I'm sorry. So I have done that, and because it's like awkward. You don't want to just be like, hey,
Yeah,
get
it
out of my
is.
house. But yeah, usually I'm like, hey, I have an early morning meeting. This was great, but like, I appreciate your time, but like, I'm gonna head
Yeah.
out. Um, so I think the shortest date that I ever went on, I went out with someone in Long Beach and met him at a bar. And I immediately, it was that guy I hugged and just immediately knew, like, I just couldn't do it. And I had something happen at work right before, like, he got there. He was seeing me on the phone with an employee. And so it was like 5 minutes. We're sitting there, and I tell him, like, look, I'm sorry. I had that thing. I really got to handle that. And I kind
Mm-hmm.
of pieced out on him. So I felt bad about that one because it was only like 5 or 10 minutes in. But I just I don't know what it was. I just could not sit there. Like it
You
was.
just listen. Maybe he was like a serial killer. Maybe your gut was telling you.
You
Just never
never
know.
know. You never know. It's quite possible. I have had some crazy. I mean, I went on a date with someone that was like had been in jail before. That's fine, but he was currently like going to court for violence against somebody or something to that effect. And I found that out and what he had done, and I was like, wow, okay, so yeah, I can't keep seeing you. Like, I'm sorry. He was really upset about that, but I was like, I have to be real. Like, I can't, I have a kid. I can't. You're literally currently going to court for stuff. Like, I can't do it.
Yes.
So,
Yes. What's one piece of dating advice you wish you ignored?
mm, that I wish I ignored.
Ignored.
Mm,
Everybody has opinion. What you should be
everybody has
doing, like,
opinions.
and it's not even an opinion. They like force it on you. No, no, this is what you should be doing when you go
I
back in there.
I think it's the feminine, like the dressing up and getting ready for a date. Because I've had people tell me, like, no, if you go on a first date, you should be like dressed to the nines, wearing a skirt and high heels, and be like feminine and have your hair done, lashes, and all the things. And my thing is I'm like, that's not how I am on a daily. I'd rather show up to a date casual in jeans and Converse with no makeup on or maybe a little lipstick or something And if someone's still interested in me being my normal, true to myself person,
Mm-hmm.
then we have more of a shot than me being someone that I'm not.
Yes.
And then them liking that version of me that is not sustainable because I am telling you right now, I will not do that every day. And I have had a couple of guys that I've talked to be like, I need my girl to like be dressed up. I need my girl in heels. I need my girl like always like makeup on. She's there to like make me look good. Like if I guys talk to me like that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not your girl. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's not my style.
Yes. For me, I think I've heard multiple times you need to be fully healed before you can be with somebody. And
Hmm.
I think this is almost like gaslighting advice because in reality, we always evolve, so we can never be fully healed. And
Hmm.
sometimes we hit a wall. So we actually need a partner to help us get through something. So that's why partnership, we meet people at different stages of our lives to get to the next stage. And maybe that is the end game, maybe it's not, but I think that one is almost like, for me, it was stopping me from being open to relationship because I'm like, oh, I'm not fully healed, I'm not fully all together, I'm not fully aligned with who I am. And I think that really messes up the your own head and your own opportunities to be with
One of
somebody.
those I've heard is if you're not comfortable being alone, like you shouldn't be with someone.
Oh.
And if you don't want to be alone, but it's like, okay, yes, I know that that is a problem of mine. I don't like being alone. Like, I don't think a lot of people like being alone, but like, I'm a very extroverted person. I'm a very
Mm-hmm.
social person. I want to be around people constantly. That's just how I am. So yeah, I don't like being alone, and that's okay. I think it is something that I need to work on, right? In general, but I don't think that
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna like not date or be in a relationship with someone just because I'm not great at being alone. I think it's something
Agreed.
that I need to work on simultaneously too,
Mm-hmm.
being in a relationship because I need to be comfortable being alone. Let's say that person, has something going on, can't come over. Those are the things that I've worked on in the past and past
Mm-hmm.
relationships too. But I don't like it when they say like, "Oh, well, you just need to like be alone for the next 6 months or be single for a year and like figure yourself out before you start dating someone else." And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, no, everyone's timeline is going to be different. And like, just because you were alone for 6 months or a year doesn't mean I need to be alone for 6 months or
Yes.
a year. And honestly,
Everybody
like,
is different.
I was alone for a year, right? Like, we split January. I didn't start dating really seriously until January of this year. I was basically single for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's just kind of, it's really everyone's timeline's different.
Exactly. All right, the final question. What did you do to avoid the first kiss? What?
Honestly, I didn't. I didn't avoid the first kiss.
Really?
I, I'm fine being the person to kiss someone first too. Like I am, again, like I was married to a woman, so like I have to be careful because I have that an energy of like I will ask a guy out on a date. I don't care. Or I will kiss a guy before like they kiss me, or I'll lean
Yeah.
in first. Like I'll do any of those things. I don't mind that. I liked doing a first kiss on a first date personally because I
Yes.
feel like if you don't, you learn a lot in that first kiss. And
Yes.
so I felt like I didn't really avoid it. Like I was totally fine with someone kissing me on a first date. I was fine being the person to kiss on the first date.
But have you ever been in a situation you did like it was the first
Oh, that
date,
you
but you
don't
knew
want to
you
kiss?
didn't want to be kissed. So what did you do to make it like,
Oh, okay, 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 okay. Honestly, same. I just didn't avoid it. I've only like the only times that I've like really wanted to avoid it are the times that I've ended up like leaving early and like making
okay.
excuses and leaving. Um, but for the most part, when I went out, I was fine because I felt like that was like the first kiss is like this culmination of like a first date of like, do I even want to go out with this person again? And I feel like the first kiss is part of that. So I didn't
Mm-hmm.
mind it. So like, I mean, the first kiss may have been terrible, but it just helped me decide, am I going to go out with this person
Yeah,
again or not?
got it.
The funny thing is with the first kiss is I had some guys are a little much. They can be a lot. And so what I like to call, I got Ted Mosby'd a couple times is what I call it. So How I Met Your Mother TV show. In the
Mm-hmm.
very first episode, he goes on a first date with someone and tells her he loves her on the first date. Like they like basically like
Mm.
kiss and he says like or he says like I think I'm in love with you. I don't even think they kiss yet. And I had three different instances on dates where I had men tell me that they loved me on the first date. And I
Mm.
thought they were crazy. Clearly. I was like, what is happening right now?
Love at
And I
first
mean, you
sight.
like say like love bombing or whatever it is, but
Yeah.
like I don't know what they were doing or what they thought they were doing, but I will say it is pretty wild when someone tells you that they love you on the first date. And that would happen. And like I like had someone kiss me goodnight and then tell me like I think I'm in love with you, like right after the first kiss.
I
And I
mean,
was
how could
like,
you resist you? You're amazing. You know that.
what do they say? Like, there's always this, like, of course I fall for love bombing. I'm amazing. How can someone not meet me and immediately love me? I do have a little bit of that going on for me. I know I'm awesome, but I'm like, I'm awesome, but if someone's telling you they love you on the first date, something's wrong.
That's a little bit of a red
Uh,
flag.
it's a little bit of a red flag. So I did have that. I had like, will you be my girlfriend on the first date? Or like, we need to be like, I want to be exclusive on the first date. So I've had like some crazy
Mm-hmm.
interactions with men that you wouldn't think like I could see it coming from a woman where a woman would say like they love you very
Oh, we
fast because
attach. We like women attach. We're like, oh my gosh, he's so
we
nice to me. Oh
attach.
my gosh,
He's
I
so
love
amazing. It
him.
was the first date and it was like the best thing ever. And like, you immediately know you're in love and then 2 weeks later you moved in together. Like I've been in those situations in
Yes.
relationships with men. I'm like, I don't expect a man to try to like what we call U-hauling in like the lesbian community. I don't expect a man try to like U-Haul and move in with you in 2 seconds or tell you they love you after the
Mm-hmm.
first date. You don't really expect that from men. So when I did get that happen a few times, I'd always laugh about it because I'm like, okay, I got Ted Mosby'd again. Like this, I'd text my friends or my family group thread and be like, so I got Ted Mosby'd again tonight, guys. Like someone told me they loved me on the first date. Like that clearly isn't gonna work
Mm-hmm.
out. So I've never avoided the first kiss, but I would run away a little bit if someone told me they loved me immediately on the first date after a
That's
first
funny.
kiss.
I had a few instances when it was a nice time, but I knew like they're in my mind they were friend zoned. Like there was no
Hmm.
spark for me, and they're fantastic guys. I'm still friends with them. But they're just friend zone for me. So what I did, I remember I was going on a date with this one person and I valeted the car. So there is always going to be people around. So when I'm getting out, I literally am getting the car keys. He cannot, there is no like intimate moment. So I'm just running to valet. And I felt bad, but I don't think I hurt his feelings. But I was just, I'm like, it's not. I mean,
Hmm.
it is what it is. But
I'd
yeah,
say
I did that.
the most like romantical first kiss I think that I had was 4th of July. I went out with someone and like honestly we only went out once, but went out with someone on 4th of July. We went to Disneyland, went to downtown Disney, went ate and everything, walked around a bit. And then we watched like the fireworks and he kissed
Hmm.
me like during the fireworks show.
Oh
So
my
I thought that was
gosh.
super romantical. And it's funny because like again, like we never went out again. That was our only date. But I was like, but it was still super romantical. I still have that like magical firework moment with someone kissing me under the fireworks at Disneyland, which is kind of nice.
All right.
So that was good.
I know there are all those moments, like the first kiss, you can never forget. I remember
Mhm.
every one of them with whoever I went on a date. Some I wish I could forget, but I mean,
Always. There's always going to be
I know.
those.
I mean, there is still. It's luckily it's not
And it's
majority.
always the sweetest guys. I feel like a lot of times, like there's occasional like terrible guys, but like I feel like always like the sweetest guys that you're just not into, but they're so nice, they're so sweet, and you friend zone them immediately. And it's like, oh, like you don't want to kiss them, you don't want like, but you're like, but they're so sweet. Like I should like them. Like it's just
Yes.
insane.
It's like I want a hybrid. Can I have the visual of this one, the spark or chemistry, and then
Uh-huh.
the character of this person? Because like that would be perfect.
Well, my thing is, I was one of those girls that like I'm dating, and like the second someone told me that they were a uniform, Like if they were military or police or any of that, I just loved them extra. And it just never worked out for me that like I
There's
ended up with
something
someone
about
in
that.
uniform. But there is something about a man in uniform that you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, you're in the Navy? Oh, like you're in the police force. Like, and a lot of people when they hear someone's police, they run the other direction. But for me,
I
I'm
mean, you're
like,
drawn. It's like a magnet.
I'm drawn. It's like a magnet. I do. I love. So I did have a couple of guys that I dated that were like in the Navy. I had a couple of days guys that I dated that were Marines. Like, and I loved. I was like, can you just send me a picture of yourself in uniform? Like, like that's all I need to see. But yeah,
Not
like it was
topless,
amazing.
not shirtless, just uniform.
No,
Like put on.
uniform, 100%. Just all in your dress uniform. You're totally fine. I don't need to see you shirtless. You're okay.
Yeah, there's something. So when I go to the gym, I see many times firefighters are working out there. And
Hmm.
I'm telling you, like they're not in uniforms, but you can see that they're with a specific division or a station. And I agree, like there is something like the pheromones or whatever they exude, there is such a masculinity comes from them that you're
Hmm.
like, oh, damn.
And the muscles, like it's just like, especially firefighters, like they always have like
Yeah.
these gigantic muscles. And I always laugh at firefighters because like ever since Top Gun, the new Top Gun came out, all the firefighters have the little mustache, like the Top Gun mustache going on. And that just makes me laugh. So I'm like, that's the only thing that saves me with firefighters because I can't do like the little mustache thing. But I just
The
laugh
Peaky
so hard when I
Blinders
see
and
it.
that one.
Oh my God, I cannot. I laugh so hard when I see a man with the little Top Gun mustache. I just can't because that's all I think
Ugh.
of is like, oh, it's just Top Gun. But yeah, something about a man in uniform that just like, and they're always like super buff and muscular. Like they always
And
look
they
really
know it.
nice. Oh,
And they know it.
100%. But that's why like girls are like, run from like uniform because not all of them. A lot of men, I'm sure, that are in uniform are awesome and they're super like monogamous. They don't cheat or any of those things, but there is a lot of like cheating or control issues and
Yes.
stuff that happens with
Yeah.
it. And so
Oh, for sure.
all your friends will tell you like, nope, run the other direction, Christina. Why are you going for that Navy boy again? Like, don't go for the Navy boy. So
That's me. I run. I run. I will enjoy from the distance, but no, thank you.
I get it.
Every
There's a
guy.
lot, but I'm like, I mean, clearly I'm not like currently dating one, right? But like it didn't work
Hmm.
out with someone, but I'm like, it's probably for the best that it didn't work out with
Yes,
any
it is.
uniform.
So, to wrap up, I love the questions in doing this game. What advice would you give to people who feel they may never be able to be happy again or to find somebody?
Honestly, I'm very big on like just don't give up. Like it I'm happy right now. Like I said, this may be like my forever person and it may not. Like I don't know, right? We never know what's going to
Hmm.
happen in our future. It's been a couple of months, so it's new. However, like enjoy the ride while you're on it. Like enjoy the person that you're with. I don't do the thing where I'm like just like looking like at the next, at the next, at the next. I'm like where I'm currently at now and I'm enjoying myself and spending time with the person that I care about. But
Hmm.
just be true to yourself and don't give up. Like get in there, whether it's an online app, which I know a lot of people hate, or it's going to a bar and trying to meet someone in person. But I'd say one of the best pieces of advice I got was to do things that you enjoy. Do your hobbies, do things that you enjoy. Because a lot of times where you end up meeting someone that you really want to be with is like on that like jogging group that you join, or
Hmm.
like the bike group when you're riding bikes, or beach volleyball, or whatever you like to do for fun. That's when you end up meeting someone that you end up like really meshing with more than like the online and more than
Yes,
like even in a bar, but just do things you enjoy doing, whether it's with friends or by yourself. And eventually things will come and hopefully you'll meet somebody.
I agree. Don't lose hope. Continue working on yourself. And I know the journey is not always enjoyable, but you're writing it. I mean, you eventually there will be your stop,
Exactly.
right?
And be true to yourself. Like I
Yes.
said, in dating, I realized how far away I got from my value center and I needed to kind of reel myself back in and find it again. I'd say try to be true to your like values and like who you are as a person.
Hmm.
Don't don't compromise so much with, especially online dating. Don't compromise so much that you lose yourself because you're like, well, it's fine if they are not interested in something long term. because X, Y, and Z, or they're really nice. And that's when like the breadcrumbing starts and these kind of things happen, or
Mm-hmm.
the situationships and the friends with benefits is because we're not being true to ourselves and what we really
Yes.
want because of whatever reason, whether they're hot or they're nice or anything. So I'd say
Mm-hmm.
don't get too far away from your value center. Like, you know who you are as a person, like stick with it. And as
Mm-hmm.
long as you're being yourself, that's all you can do.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for being vulnerable with me today and sharing your
Of
story.
course.
It's very, it's inspirational. It's very unique, and I really appreciate your advice. I mean, it was really great. And thank you
Thank
for
you.
listening to Uncoupled and Unfiltered. If you found this episode refreshing, enlightening, or simply entertaining, please subscribe and share. And until next time.
That's it for this episode of Uncoupled and Unfiltered. If you're loving the raw truth and practical takeaways, do the badass thing and rate and review the show wherever you listen. It helps more good people find their way out of the chaos. And check the show notes. Yeah, we actually put some useful stuff in there. Resources, links, tools, go grab what you need. Until next time, don't settle, don't shrink, and don't look back.